Hello and welcome to our podcast, All Things Super, here on YouTube. I am Super Chasney, your host, as ever, and we have the channel host himself, Mr. Tom.
Hello.
That's it? Just hello?
Hello! Welcome back to the podcast.
There we go. And making his surprise return, like a Royal Rumble appearance himself. We don't know if it'll be a Rey Mysterio one-off or if he's back for good. This is the prodigal return of Alex Digitalk Kingdom.
Yeah, that's my middle name now. Yeah, hi guys, what's going on? I feel really privileged being on here actually. Is this episode 2? Or
Yes,
3?
it is.
2?
This is episode 2. We actually got past the first episode,
Which is mental.
unlike someone's podcast.
Oh,
Just so you all know, Alex went away for a little while, went off with some other people that he said he'd never rejoin.
I'm so
and-
offended by the way. I've just traded them in.
If you don't cut off the host, it's probably going to work out better that way, so people can hear.
I thought I had you cut out on my.
And then, so he joined a different channel, and that failed epically, and now he's begging for his job back here.
Hang
So
on.
if you like his return here, make sure you let us know in the comments with thumbs up and all sorts of things like that.
And we
I
may
really
not
thought you
lock
were
him back in the
gonna
cupboard
call
again.
He might not be.
I really thought you were going to put a poll up then. Do you like the return of Alex? Yes, no.
I don't think we need a poll.
Nah, I think
No,
people
no,
just let us know in the comments if they're happy.
Yeah.
Speaking of polls,
Speaking of polls,
the last episode's women's Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble, we voted between Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, and the results are 55 people voted. 5 people voted for Nia Jax, 3 for Sasha Banks, and 47 for Becky Lynch.
Wait.
I think something happened there.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure it glitched.
But we honour the results of the poll.
And by unanimous decision, Becky Lynch won, the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble.
Even though Nia Jax was clearly the option to pick, but Becky Lynch did win.
I just say out of not being in the podcast, I would certainly go for Sasha. She
Damn,
was in...
he definitely is a Ross Mackey.
The least
No.
favourite.
Wait. She was in for the beginning to the end, though.
Nia Jax came in and completely dominated. She was the.
But that's not an Iron Woman, though. An Iron Woman's something that lasts longer.
I'm not sure that was the way we worded the question in
Yeah,
the beginning.
I think that was just we're basically saying who was like the dominant force in the Royal Rumble, who did the best.
Yeah, who was the best
Vicky
wrestler
Guerrero.
in the women's Royal Rumble? It was.
Yeah.
Vicky Guerrero.
But let's not think about the past. Let's go into the future.
Yes, let's not go into the past like it would be if we went to Scotland. Let's go into the future like it is in England and London.
Okay, and the first point we have to talk about today is the misuse of wrestlers in WWE. This is just spurred on by me thinking about Rich Swann getting released, kind of thing.
Now, it came to a mutual agreement, I heard.
Yes, but he had potential, and then they put him in 205 Live, and he died, pretty much.
Yeah, but if we think about 205 Live, now it's on the up. It's very much on the up.
Yeah, but why is Rich Swann gone when it's going to get good?
Is it on the up? I mean,
Yeah.
I understand this thing's changing, but
No,
has it changed yet?
it's very much on the up.
It's
very
more
much
on the actual wrestling side than the soap drama Vince McMahon was trying to create.
And you have wrestlers like Roderick Strong, Tyler Bate in the contest, so it just makes it feel a bit more legitimate. And plus, Drake Maverick is a great general manager.
I love Drake Maverick. He's so damn funny.
So is there any other people that you're assuming are being misused by the WWE?
How long do we have?
As long as you like.
Oh, there is so many people. Finn Balor, for one. How did they get away with not giving him a title rematch for the Universal Championship yet?
I disagree with you here.
Does he deserve a rematch?
He never lost the belt.
Well, he forfeited it.
Yeah, by injury.
Yeah, but is there a clause where you get a rematch if you... Because it's not a rematch clause, is it? Because he didn't have a match. He forfeited the title.
I still think he should have got a... You can have a one-on-one title match for it.
Now, listen. I don't think I wanted to see a match where Finn Balor got squashed by Brock Lesnar.
No, but Finn Balor Roman Reigns, much more appealing.
Everyone wants to see that.
And then Finn Balor destroys Roman Reigns, takes the title home, and then Roman quits the company.
Now,
the best thing about Roman Reigns fighting Brock Lesnar is we know that's going to main event WrestleMania, which means that we can turn off, 15 minutes before the end.
No, I'm still going to watch the end. Lesnar and Reigns is good. 31, so I'm going to stick around. I think.
Yeah, it was only good because Seth Rollins cashed in.
No, I like the actual Lesnar and Reigns bit more than the Seth bit. I like the moment of Seth. I thought the match kind of long came in. It was like
it was an alright match.
It was decent. It was better than we all thought it would be.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't expect anything because it was Lesnar and Reigns.
It was suplex after suplex, and Roman Reigns just sitting there smiling.
The big dog.
Big dog.
More underutilized people, Ty
Dillinger.
Yeah, I agree. That is my ringtone, just so you know. The Ty Dillinger theme tune.
Nice.
He was so over.
And now they're just... What are they doing with him?
Nothing.
He didn't even get to be in the Rumble.
Exactly. No, yeah, because he got taken out.
Yeah.
Obviously, the misuse of people pushing people that don't deserve to be pushed. Jinder Mahal.
No, I like Jinder.
What?
But
I don't like him. I don't like him as a WWE champion. I think that's pushing that.
I mean, Alex, you are already a heel here. Are you just looking to be hated even more?
I don't like the fact that he was WWE champion off the bat, but I think he should definitely be in a title picture. He's definitely.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean by misusing and pushing the wrong people as well, because they pushed him to the moon to sell to India.
No, but also on the indie scene, he is really good. So I knew what Jinder would be like. I'm a big Jinder fan, not of what they did with him during the run.
Big Jinder fan.
I liked the idea that they were trying to build a new star, but they messed it up too bad.
I think it should have been Titus O'Neil, personally.
Of course you do.
Titus O'Neil.
Mike Kanellis, he literally got like 3 matches and then he's not appeared on TV for months.
I mean, if we're talking about people that are being underused, I think you've got to look at people like Matt Hardy, who lost his first match as Broken Matt Hardy on a random Raw match in 5-10 minutes at most.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Revival, who got destroyed as well.
Oh God.
The Club.
I mean, at least the Club are getting a little bit more to do now.
Yeah, but
if we had this conversation 2 months ago, I'd agree.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things they could be doing with much more able competitors, but they're not like the. What's this whole Absolution and Riot Squad shit going on? It's the same shit every week. We'll have a 6-woman tag, then we'll have a singles match, and then they'll lose most of them, and then this will happen. It's the same booking for both groups as well. Yeah. It's so bad, and they're just making it a focal point of Raw and SmackDown's women's division, and nobody cares about it.
Speaking of teams, I think 2 men that have been very underutilized on the main roster have to be Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Definitely, they are really good wrestlers as well.
Are they being underutilized?
Yeah, they should be in the main.
Bo Dallas was a fantastic NXT champion.
Bo should be in the main title picture by now.
So does Bray Wyatt, to be fair.
Yeah, Bray, he's another one.
Well, they can't all be in the title picture.
Well, no, but Bo Dallas went from being NXT champion to nothing, which is ridiculous. Whereas if you look at every other NXT champion, they've all done something.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he might not have been as good as some of the others, but I mean, Bo Dallas, it's just got nothing going for him.
He had a beard for a while.
He had a weird white outfit.
He had a sign saying "Bo leaving Bo." I actually liked that gimmick. It was quite funny. And
no
Rusev Day needs to be pushed.
How much would you like to see it pushed?
Rusev Day, I think he at least a US champion, US title run at the minute, at least.
Well, they've just given it to Rude.
Or even have that feud.
Yeah, I'd agree with more than agree with that feud. I just think at some point, I think he will if it continues going over.
It's massive.
He could win it at Mania.
Yeah.
Also, that would give an excuse for Bobby to turn heel. So I'm all for it.
I think people would much rather have heel Bobby Roode.
He could actually turn heel against him, because the biggest problem with turning heel is quite often they're doing it against people that they don't like anyway.
Yeah, Rusev is so over as a babyface. If they turn him back heel, it would just destroy his career.
You've got Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, and everyone's cheering Braun Strowman beating the life out of Roman Reigns.
I fucking love Braun Strowman.
Because no one likes Reigns and everyone loves Braun Strowman. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
One guy for me that's been absolutely destroyed by the WWE system. Yes, he is a tag team champion currently, but Cesaro should be in the main title pit. Christ. He's so good.
Yeah, at least they're doing something with Cesaro now.
Yeah, but they've always done something with him. They haven't pushed into that upper echelon.
But he's holding a championship.
But he's still being underutilized.
But I mean, realistically, how many people can you have at the top? What, 5, 6 guys per brand?
Cesaro should have had a shot by now.
Yeah, I can agree that he should have at least had some shots, because he's never really had a shot or a main event feud, but at least he's holding a championship, which is more than they did in like 2014, 2015.
I think the thing that I would like to have seen is that third brand. When you used to remember ECW, for example, when it became that terrible third cousin of the main two shows, at least you had people like Christian and Ezekiel Jackson, champion, CM Punk. They got a chance to thrive, like we've got with NXT now. The issue that I have with NXT is that as soon as a superstar does well there, they bring them up. And there's only a certain amount of spaces.
And then it goes to die because there's not enough room to utilise the talent that you've just made, because people on the main roster go, wait, who is that?
There is realistically about 20 people that could be champion. We made a thing about it a little while ago of who could win the Royal. When you go down to the levels of Cesaro, Rusev, and Sami Zayn, you talk about there's so many people on the roster that could be WWE champion that you can't have them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm really worried for people like Ricochet and EC3, because they're just going to get dumped in the mid card.
Unfortunately, yeah.
As soon as they can outside that main roster, even for Ricochet, it might be 205 Live, which upsets me.
But hopefully they can make 205 Live a place where you've got less developed talents going for that Cruiserweight Championship to still be a little bit of a different brand. Who knows what Triple H has planned for 205 Live?
I mean, I think that they're going to get Ray in for Mania. I think that's basically.
It's debatable because they want to do AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio.
For Mania?
No, that's a match they're looking to book, but they can't do it at Mania.
Yeah, so they bring him in for the Cruiserweight match, he loses, and he goes onto the main roster.
It would give somebody a massive rub.
Imagine if someone pinned Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania they would ultimately go up to like not legendaries. They'd be bumped up massively.
Oh yeah.
Imagine seeing Cedric Alexander, who I think is the best cruiserweight, taking on Rey Mysterio.
Drew Gulak, amazing.
No, not Drew Gulak's
Neville.
fine.
Where is he? Because he's still under WWE contract.
He's just disappeared.
He's lost in the.
Hopefully they bring Neville back because he was amazing.
He could come back at Mania, couldn't he?
That's what I mean. He could make a surprise return in this tournament, to be fair, and ruin the end of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a fantastic finish to it, and set up a feud for whoever was meant to win the tournament, whoever it cost.
You could just imagine that tournament just about to finish, and then all of a sudden the music hits. My name is Enzo Amore. And
He's definitely the rated R superstar.
Well, we don't know what's happening with him at the moment.
Well, he's currently under a rape allegation.
He is?
And I don't think he'll ever return to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets cleared, I don't see why not.
And people don't like him backstage. He apparently is an absolute bellend.
Well, people can change.
Well, yeah, fair point, because look at Shawn Michaels back in 98 compared to 2004.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be real. If we're going to get anyone in the Cruiserweight division, it's got to be Hulk Hogan. Comes down.
I don't think we have any more underutilized talent to talk about at the minute, do we?
I mean, Titus Worldwide should be in the main event. Let's just like that.
I do like Titus Worldwide. It is an interesting gimmick.
I think if there's someone that's being questionably underutilized, it's Paige. You know, I know she's going through this injury, and no one really knows what's going on. You can speculate all you like, but she's just not really doing anything at the moment. And she, you know, by not announcing what's happening, it's leaving speculation up in the air. And you know, she's not going to wrestle again. Then, while she's still hot, while she's still getting, you know, a reaction, make something of her. Stick her on the announce team permanently, or you know, just do something with her.
There's so much potential for Paige.
If we're talking about underused talent in the women's division, Mickie James has got to be one of them. She came back and did nothing.
She only came back to put over talent. That is their problem. But they didn't let fans recognise her before they did that, because the casual fan went, "Who is that?" Because she hadn't been in the company for 7 years. So most of the people that are watching today don't have a clue what happened 7 years ago. So you just have this person come back and then just lose all the time. There's people like, who is this?
What I loved about the Royal Rumble was seeing how terrible women's wrestlers were 5-6 years ago. I mean, Michelle McCall, I know she was ring rusty and probably hasn't had much practice recently, but she messed up like 3 or 4 things. And then we had Kelly.
She was never
good. Need I say more? And then you had people like Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, Nia Jax. Actually, they look pretty good.
To be fair, Lita and Trish weren't too bad, and neither were Beth Phoenix.
Well, Lita nearly killed herself.
Yeah, but she used to do that back in the day anyway. That's just Lita.
Yeah. You know, for me, I think the best part of the women's rumble, this might just be me, I think the best special special entrant was Vicky Guerrero anyway. I think that moment was hilarious.
That was just brilliant.
I did like her taking out Carmella.
Yeah, and then she just got beat the shit out of. It was funny.
Yeah. I can't think of any other underutilized talents. So unless you guys have got.
I don't have any to think of at the minute.
I don't.
So point 1 is finished. If you have any underutilized talent that you believe that they could be making better, please leave it in the comments. Have a nice discussion in there amongst yourselves.
And we will move on to point number 2, which is Pal's positive points. Oh, I can see that getting over.
No idea what this is.
I actually have two. I've just thought of one off the top of my head, and it's something I've been meaning to mention for so long because it's an idea I had for a match that's never been done as far as I'm concerned. And I always question why it's not been done. And it could have been done perfectly on Raw this week, but they just won't do it. Essentially, you have a certain amount of men in the ring, say 6, and they all want a title match. But you can't have 6 contenders for the title in an elimination chamber. You can only have 5 because you need the champion. So what I think they should have done is said, okay, well, they're going to have a match tonight. All 7 of you are going to be out there, or however many it needs to be. And the first pinfall loses. So whoever gets pinned loses. And I think there's so much they could do with it. I think they could have games where people might be teaming up because they don't want to lose. You can have cowardly people sort of running out of the way for a little while. I think it would be such an interesting match.
It does sound good, actually.
It would be different, and it's stuff we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
WWE these days are just playing it safe most of the time. I like the idea. I don't think it'll ever come to fruition at any point.
I think it's a shame.
Yeah.
It would build up Raw, because apparently this week they're going to show us the exact same match without the cell. By having a 7-way match.
No, it's
without.
A gauntlet match. One, the loser gets eliminated, the next person comes out. Gauntlet match.
Right, but it's essentially going to be all of those guys out there anyway.
Yeah.
Why not just do that? I think it'd be really cool. We don't need to see 7 people in an elimination chamber.
No, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do, but it's the bag intrigued of what are they going to do?
Can't they just hang someone from the ceiling?
Yeah, that was my thought. They should have done that. That would be much more intriguing. They have to climb down a rope to get down. If they can't do it in 30 seconds, they get eliminated.
They've never used the shark cage before. They released the toy of it, and they've used it, 3 times?
Yeah, but that would be quite interesting.
Last few months?
Yeah. That's only because they wanted to sell the toy.
Exactly. But my main point of the podcast for Powell's positive points is the price of being a WWE fan. Now, when I was growing up, so I'm 28, I was a fan when I was 10, 11. You had to pay for Sky Sports here in the UK, which is probably was about £10 a month. Currently is about £18, £19 a month just for Sky Sports. And you have to have another package on top of that. Then you had to pay for pay-per-views. Now, for the worst pay-per-views, things like Insurrection and stuff like that, you would get them for free on Sky Sports, which was great because people in America had to pay for them and we didn't. But for normal pay-per-views, we had to pay £15-16.
15, 40, 95, I think it was.
And I think it might have been $19.95 for WrestleMania. Now, that's nothing to what Americans have to pay, I'm sure.
$60.
By the sounds of it, $60 for a pay-per-view.
$60 for WrestleMania, $50 for all the others, I think it is.
I mean, at least they don't have to wait up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
$45 for one event.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But nowadays, and t-shirts. I used to get a t-shirt for my birthday or something, and it would cost about £20 from Euroshop. It was called WWE Euroshop. I don't know if that still exists.
It does.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. But in this world of Amazon and all these apps where you can get stuff, the price has come down from being a WWE fan, and generally it's down to the network. For £9.99 you get the backlog of virtually everything that they've ever done that you would possibly want. And
multiple other companies, WCW, ECW, I think they've got a couple of old promotions, some of the really old WWF, like the WWF and CWC. Literally shitloads of content on there.
And the live pay-per-views. The price of being a fan just has gone, through the floor. It's very achievable for someone to decide that they want to to watch wrestling because you can get the pay-per-views for free for 3 months or so.
It's a month trial.
I know I've been offered a 3-month trial. Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're making their money, and obviously they're not, because you've got Pyro missing, you've got all sorts of things
that was
that's
mainly
going
due
wrong.
to the trying to do more pay-per-views as well. Which
Quite possibly.
But we'll talk more about doing more pay-per-views in a minute.
But yeah, have you ever found a problem being a wrestling fan with how much things cost? Or
oh no, if I tried to do what I do now back 5 years ago, I would have been screwed because I would have been forking out shitloads of money every single week to try and watch all the WWE. I now spend a tenner on pay-per-views a month.
Once a month. And quite often there's 2 a month.
And because of lovely Super Chastney, I have the option to watch Sky with his account, which significantly reduces my cost, even though I used to use the internet. Thank God for the internet.
How about you, Alex? Have you ever found it difficult to be a wrestling fan because of money?
When before doing networks, I was quite young, because I was like 11, 12. So I would never have to pay for it myself personally. Although I think the cost of the merchandise is well overblown these days, slightly. Me a little bit, but apart from that, I think the $9.99 is a bit cheap. Personally, I don't think it's doing WWE any favors. Although to the casual fan, it's like, oh yes, I'll pay this. It's bringing them it's not even bringing in more people. So I don't know what they're doing, but I think they could increase it to maybe $14.99, even that kind of.
For example, if they brought back the old pay-per-view system, would you still be able to be a wrestling fan and watch all of the shows by paying £15 per pay-per-view?
Probably.
Fair enough.
Well, I know I could, but say I didn't have a job, I would never be able to convince my parents to let me spend £15 a month on wrestling.
How many pay-per-views are there next year?
12.
Is that it?
It's confirmed that they're going after WrestleMania. They're going back to one pay-per-view a month.
Well, how many was it before? Oh, last year. So about 15, 16?
18 pay-per-views a year.
So 18 times 15. It's about 300 quid, just under.
And I'm spending 120 quid on WWE Network now.
270 quid.
And I'm spending 120.
And that's just for the pay-per-views. And you could only watch it like once. Unless you had a Sky Plus box.
If you got on box office, you got like 1 or 2 replays.
It deleted after a week if you had a Sky Plus box. But the time before you could record live TV, you either recorded it onto a video or you just watched it there and then.
Yeah, I used to do that with TNA pay-per-views, record them because they were all free.
TNA.
But the thing is, they can't charge more than a tenner because all the other wrestling promotions are charging like a tenner for their app. So people will go, why is WWE charging more than the competition?
I think WWE could do it. I just don't think anyone else could.
I think they could get away with it. If they offered a bundle for 20 quid and you could watch Raw and SmackDown live on it, I would do that.
I think that's one of the biggest negatives of the network is the fact that you haven't got Raw and SmackDown.
For countries like England, that would be really, really good to have that option, because if you miss it on the TV, the replay is not until like 2 or 3 days later. If you just have the Sky.
Also, isn't it 4 weeks until the actual episode goes up?
Well, obviously they're earning lots of money through showing it on Sky and whatever it's shown on in America.
USA.
Through adverts and all sorts of things. But it is a big negative of the network.
Yeah. It's why I like to watch 205 Live and NXT, because I feel like I'm getting my money's worth by a pay-per-view a month, and I'm watching 8 episodes of a show there. I get my money's worth for a tenner, plus like 4 people use mine as well.
One thing is though, if we didn't have the network, NXT would be shot, because I don't think many people would pay for NXT pay-per-view.
Oh no! Oh god, no! People would not pay for that.
although they're better in quality.
I think you'd be surprised. I think there'd be a lot of people that would buy that over some of the other
remember,
pay-per-views.
most of the people that watch the NXTs are the hardcore fans, not the casual fans.
But quite often they're the ones that are paying out for the pay-per-views.
Mm. And obviously, NXT wouldn't survive on a network show.
No.
People wouldn't pay. What did they get? They got like 75,000 views when they did put it on the USA Network during the WWE week. Which, compared to the... Oh no, was it? It was some rarely known number compared to what... Raw and SmackDown get like 3 million views. This got a lot less. A lot less.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex, did you have something to say?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounded like
it. Yeah, the network has made being a WWE fan a blessing.
Certainly for a UK fan.
And the fact we get to watch every pay-per-view ever aired by WWE, even Over the Edge, you know, the one where Owen Hart tragically lost his life, that had never been seen after that day. They released it on the network. Obviously, with that bit cut out.
The biggest thing for me is that on the network there is no old NXT. You cannot go back and watch the best era of NXT 2010.
That era can die because it was shit.
The only question I do have though is I probably own about 15. As throughout my life, I've probably owned 15. I don't know if I've still got them. WWE DVDs, and they probably cost about £10-15 each.
Yeah.
And most of that money went to WWE, I'm sure. That is a huge loss of money for them.
They still sell the DVDs. Amazing as you think it is.
Surely they can't sell many.
There's still die-hard fans that buy all the DVDs for the pay-per-views. Which I
would never dream of buying a pay-per-view on DVD anymore, even if it was in a charity shop or a Goodwill shop for Americans, because it's all on the network.
I know. I wouldn't dream of it myself. I would just go, oh, it's on the network, I'll go watch it today. But some people like physical media.
I'm not sure if we've lost Alex here.
Alex?
No, I am here.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah. It's the same with games, similar though, because people like to collect physical media. So if you look at a shelf and go, I've got the whole collection of WrestleMania on my wall. Some people like to do that.
I can understand
I don't like that with wrestling DVDs. I don't know what it is. I've never collected the DVDs.
I only own one WWE DVD, and that was Night of Champions 2009.
I own the new and improved DX DVD from 2007, which is still by far the best wrestling DVD I've ever watched. Seriously.
Sure, that's the only one you own?
I think it literally is the only WWE one I actually own.
And it's the best one you've ever bought?
Ever watched. I've watched a few, but I've not owned them. I've watched them around mates' houses and stuff like that. But
sounds like a fun evening.
Yeah.
Did you get pizza?
Yeah, I got 2 pizzas.
2 pizzas.
Always. You know what I'm going to go for WrestleMania?
Tom.
2 pizzas.
2 pizza, Tom.
Exactly.
Hey, what I do for WrestleMania is I get pizza, alcohol, mates to go.
And I've got mates. I'm going to get...
We don't recommend under 18s drinking alcohol.
Exactly.
Oh, my mum lets me. So
Did Tom say he's going to have mates?
Yeah, Joe and Ben.
Really? What about Dan?
No, I think that died.
Oh.
That joke died long ago. We're having a wrestling match as well during WrestleMania.
You what?
We're having a wrestling match.
You against Ben?
And Joe. For the fucking BYCW Championship. We have metal trays and everything to whack around each other's heads.
What's a BYC Championship?
BYCW. Backyard Championship Wrestling.
Isn't that a game?
If you've not seen Ben, ladies and gentlemen, I do suggest you going back and watching some of Tom's live reactions with Ben in them. I think he's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, probably. But
I hope he uses the stink face as his finisher.
I'll make sure he's not. I will make sure I don't take that. He is losing weight though, so congratulations to him on that.
Well done, Ben.
He's lost a stone so far, I think.
Where did he lose it?
He chucked it outside when he got angry.
Fair enough.
Wow. Not the stone.
Obviously, the stone. We lost the stone.
So, Mr. Alex, you are somewhat back in our lives again now, and we asked you to bring a topic with you. Did you do that?
I did. Indeed.
Well, you already won up on Ross Mackey, so here we go. Alex's amazing topic.
So, my point is, no longer dual branded pay-per-views. What is our thoughts, people? I'm gonna let Thomas go first.
Thank God. It's overkill. 18 pay-per-views a year with slim cards has been an overkill of pay-per-views. But when you've got to have rinse and repeat matches to fill a pay-per-view card, it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of having 12 pay-per-views a year... I liked the old Ruthless Aggression era, you know, when they had one pay-per-view every 2 months for each brand. So one was Raw, one was SmackDown, then you had the Big Four. So you have 4 join and then 4 of each brand. I liked that idea. But
that's what killed the brand. That's what's killing this brand split. Prolonged feuds.
Yeah.
So we had 16 pay-per-views in 2017.
I thought it was 18. I thought it was like 2 a month and then 4 big ones. Was it 16 or was it 18?
16 I'm counting at the moment, which included 6 SmackDown only pay-per-views and 6 Raw.
I thought it was more than that, but okay. I thought it was 18.
And I'm looking at the main events for each of them. We had the Royal Rumble match itself. We had the 6-way Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Kevin Owens and Goldberg for Fastlane.
Don't remember.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it was Goldberg.
Yeah, but 23 seconds.
But it was Goldberg. You know, it was a big name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
WrestleMania happened.
Yeah. Let's not...
We forget that match.
Yeah, can we please forget that match?
I like that match.
Oh, you would. Payback had Roman Reigns versus Strowman.
Wait,
that
do you
was
not
a
like
good
the main event?
We don't like Roman Reigns.
I don't mind Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but that match with
You
Braun Strowman
would.
was actually a pretty alright match. Only because Strowman was in it. And we liked Strowman.
So Reigns, Strowman, Randy Orton versus Jinder.
Fuck off.
And then we had the Fatal 5-way, Reigns, Rollins, Balor, Wyatt, Joe, which was a great match.
Yeah, that was good.
And then Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
which was won by Corbin.
And then the other one was won by a man.
Wow, that was terrible.
Yeah, that Money in the Bank was actually
Nakamura,
quite bad.
Zayn, Ziggler,
The
Owens.
only thing that made that match good was when they
Corbin.
teased AJ and Nakamura.
Yep.
I also like the fact that James Ellsworth, who is a woman, got his comeuppance. No, he's not a woman, got his comeuppance. But they shouldn't have done that in the first place.
We then had Great Balls of Fire.
To be fair,
Rock
though, we
and
did
Samoa
get
Joe.
a tune for the theme song.
Yeah, but
So-
imagine Great Balls of Fire. You take that pay-per-view 10 years ago. Imagine what the stage would have looked like. They would have had cars. They would have had a shitload of stuff for a set.
Yeah,
It would have looked mental back then. And then
it's sad, isn't it?
They've already dropped the pay-per-view name. There's no annual Great Balls of Fire this year.
That's a shame.
I know. I've really
We
loved
had
it.
Battleground, which again had Jinder versus Randy Orton.
That was dog shit.
We had
That was
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
That was Carly, yes, you're right. We had Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. Again, that was
Fantastic.
good.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good. That was actually a good match.
No Mercy, we had Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, no,
When
that
they
disappointed
buried
me.
Braun Strowman, that was a good.
The
job.
problem is that they were never going to put Braun to win, so
They should
I
have.
think we was always going to be a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell, did anyone remember that one?
Was that the women? Charlotte.
Well, that was-
No, that was last year.
last year.
I don't know that.
That was Zayn turning heel.
Oh
Yeah,
that was
Shane
actually
and Owens.
that was a good match actually.
And then TLC happened, which is the most disgusting headline I've ever seen. It was Kurt Angle, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins versus The Miz, Braun Strowman, Kane, Cesaro, and Sheamus in a 5-on-3 mess.
Yeah, that match was quite bad.
Then we had Survivor Series with the traditional Survivor Series match, and then
match.
Clash of Champions was the final one, which AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal.
And he actually won the championship back, if I'm correct. Or did he win it before that match?
I think he was already winning. Yeah, he won it on SmackDown.
Won in England.
Oh yeah, I remember on
was
the on the Manchester show. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't look too bad as main events go, but if you look at the lower cards, which
yeah, but this is my issue. This is my issue. I think there's more positives with the dual branded pay-per-views, but the mid cards for both shows are going to get beat. This is going to be all title matches.
No, because they're making the shows longer. They're going to make a 4-hour pay-per-view every time.
Yeah, but I don't want that. I'd rather 2 2.5-hour ones and 1 4-hour long.
They don't care. They don't care. They have a 3-hour Raw. If you watch that Pete Rosenberg interview, he said it. You know what, the fans don't like 3-hour Raw, and JBL laughed and said, "Well, they're earning loads of money from it, so why would they stop?"
Exactly that.
Because the fans hate it, but they will carry on doing it.
But you got to remember, WWE is a business in the end of the day, and if it's making financial sense to do something, they're not going to stop. They get too much money to do a 3-hour Raw to stop it.
I'm not saying they
whether
should
that
stop.
Whether that will change when they get to their TV contracts at the end of 2018 or I think 2019, when they're looking to change, when they're looking into their new TV contracts, that may change, and they may go to a 2-hour Raw when they've got more freedom.
I think we've got more chance of getting a 3-hour SmackDown.
Oh my god, that would make
I was
fucking.
about to say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing.
But then that means 205 Live will be an hour later, so the fans definitely won't stick around for it.
They might have to incorporate 205 Live into it or change the day for 205 Live. The only thing that I feel about the 3-hour, 2-hour thing is sometimes I watch SmackDown and I think, oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because I've just watched Raw the night before and I'm thinking this dragged on and on and on.
Yeah, but sometimes Raw can go really quickly and you think, that's a good show. And sometimes you can go, oh god,
at all.
The only time I've ever felt that is actually Raw 1000. That was the first day.
But the Raw 25, I felt like that dragged on.
Oh, that dragged on for ages because it was shit.
But some Raws have been really decent as of late. It's like, this brand split is working, but the idea when they wanted to increase pay-per-views is the thing that have made it an overkill. Because all they thought in their mind is, more pay-per-views, people will love it, they'll buy the network to get more pay-per-views. And then you've got low ticket sales because not everyone can afford to keep going to a pay-per-view every 2 fucking weeks. You're asking people to go to, what is it? You've got 52 Raws, 52 SmackDowns, and then you're expecting them to pay for 16 pay-per-views for ticket sales if people want to go live. How much money do they think people physically have?
I don't think it's always the same people.
Well, no, but
it's not like football where someone buys a season ticket and goes to them all.
Some people do, though. You'd be surprised. Some people travel around the country going to every fucking WWE show.
The only guy that I recognise in most of the crowd is the Brock Lesnar guy.
There's also a Hulk Hogan guy sometimes. That Izzy. That fucking Izzy.
Otherwise known as when Alex Kingdom was a young WWE fan.
You still do look like a young WWE fan.
But obviously, some people, if you wanted to go to every pay-per-view, it increased in price for you. Whereas we were talking in the past point, it's cheaper to watch it now, but going to all the shows costs you more money for the tickets.
Then don't Then don't be stupid and don't go to every show.
Yeah, but some people like to do that. But when the pay-per-views increase from 12 to 16, that's a hell of a lot more money people need to fork out, and they're expecting to sell out every single pay-per-view. It's overkill.
So essentially, do we think that this is a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a very good thing.
I have a few concerns and a few things that I have to iron out, but...
Well...
Such as?
I think the mid-cards are going to get absolutely swarmed, so I think you can say goodbye to Matt Hardy, getting a chance on pay-per-view. I think you can say goodbye to people like Breezango, getting a chance on pay-per-view. You say goodbye to people like Rusev Day. I don't think they're going to get anywhere on pay-per-view.
But does that mean that SmackDown's going to be more interesting if they've actually got to do the work on SmackDown rather than on pay-per-view?
Yeah. But
no, because now they're important as feuds.
No, this is what they were saying. They had to slow storyline telling down because some of the times they had 8 weeks between pay-per-views.
But now
fucking weeks between a pay-per-view.
But now you're getting double the roster size for one show, yeah. So you're not gonna have as much time to focus on little guys and little feuds and that kind of.
Or they just make some of the bigger matches a little bit shorter for the ones in the not the big four. The big four will have your massive big matches, and they'll probably fill the other ones with smaller matches. And obviously, the storytelling will be better because they're going to need to build up the feuds for all the pay-per-views. They won't have a chance to slack like they've been doing.
Well, there we go.
It'll be good. It'll be a good. What's your opinion on it, Super Chasney?
I'm not quite sure because I quite like having lots of pay-per-views because it means if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Because we do live in the UK, so it means that it's on between 1 and quite possibly 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And if you're at work the next day, you miss it, and then you found out the result anyway. So you generally, watch highlights or something. Whereas when there's 18 in a year, it means that you can watch more.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously for me it was a good thing because I got to stream a lot more, and people enjoyed coming to the streams. Which
did they enjoy it?
Well, they won't keep coming back if they didn't.
I think they're just coming back for the comments.
Probably, but I will remove the comments.
Yeah. Don't do that. Otherwise, no one will come back.
No, that's not me. That was Kaylee.
You came back.
We tried to remove you
from Digitalk hell.
Digitalk, not Digi.
It's the same fucking word.
Digitalk. Digimon. Digitalk.
Digiarmy.
Anyway, moving on. Let's go to our fantastic award show where we all bring a category.
Better than the Slammies.
Anything's better than the Slammies. We all bring a category each month or each podcast, and we each come up with a suggestion for that topic. And if we can agree between us, then we award that award to that person. That award. Look at that literacy from mine. However, if we don't come to an agreement, then we will put it in a poll, which gets abused by Tom's followers in streams and lets him win. So let's hope that doesn't happen again this time.
Yeah, I didn't even tell him who to vote for. I just said go and vote for somebody. I don't know.
Originally, I thought this was like a Dragon's Den type thing where we had to sell to the viewers why we thought. But
well, we may well have to if we have to go to a vote.
So we'll start with my award this week, which is who is the superstar of the month? Any wrestling promotion. Super Chasney, your one first.
Me. This is probably the one that I've struggled with the most because I'm finding it tough to watch Raw and SmackDown at the moment. But from what I've seen, I think Braun Strowman is the guy at the moment. He seems to be one of the most popular people on the show. He seems to be in a situation where he can do nothing wrong. He comes out and does something different every week. Obviously, we've all seen the thing with, I'm assuming, what we're calling a double bass.
What?
A double bass, as in the guitar.
Oh, yeah. We saw that. I thought
it was clever.
That was great.
it was used in two ways. He went to the ring and played it, broke the strings. There was a bit of comedy in that, and then he broke it. I got Elias.
Yes.
So I just think he can do no wrong at the moment. At some point, they're going to have to give him a run with the title. But you look at people like Mankind in their run in the WWE, one of the most popular people. He was funny sometimes. He just did different things all the time. And, he's not most known for holding the championship. So I don't know if they have to pull the trigger just yet, but definitely Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you. Now,
you can't agree with me.
What?
You can't agree with me, otherwise we will only have two topics.
Yeah. You're allowed to agree with him. You can disagree with him in a minute, but you just have to put
okay.
point. Yeah. Who's your person, Alex?
My person is Travis Banks. Now, not only is he representing Defiant, for me, he's also representing Progress and wherever he's been around the world. Now, not only for me is Travis Banks one of the best wrestlers in the world at the minute, but also, again, like you say, with Braun Strowman, he can do no wrong. Everywhere he goes, he's one of the most popular people on the show. He's putting on fantastic matches. Most recently, he was in the 5-on-5 Defiant versus IPW match, where he was essentially the babyface of the match. He was lighting the crowd on fire. He was the heart and soul of the match. And when he got eliminated, it was simply because he got double teamed, and he's like the ultimate babyface right now. And he's just fantastic. As well, the crowd are always behind him wherever he goes. As well, he can be a fantastic heel babyface. This month for Travis Banks, this year, 2018, for Travis Banks has been incredible. Not only because he's had great in-ring success, but also he's been able to develop his character so much more this year. He's not just now someone that can kick your head off. He's a well-oiled machine. He's definitely the Daniel Bryan of the indie scene at the moment, I'd say. And that could be something that you may disagree with, but I think Travis Banks is the best wrestler of the month in general.
And Breathe. And Tom?
Mine is Johnny Gargano. He has been doing some absolutely fantastic work as of the last few weeks. Just watch his NXT match main event. Who was it? A Velveteen Dream.
Cassius. Oh, yeah.
And then he had his match against Andrea and Cien Almas, which got a 5-star from Dave Meltzer.
Last month.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's just over as of lately. Like you said.
As of the last 31 days.
Yeah. He's been doing some phenomenal work. He's been putting in the effort. His promo on last week's NXT was on fire, where he went, "If I don't win the title, I'll leave." He's got pure emotion behind him. He can back it up in the ring. He is just one of the best babyfaces NXT has got, and he needs to win the championship. And I just think he has just been doing the best work of his career and putting most of the wrestlers at Raw and SmackDown to shame right now with how good he is in the ring. He's shown what it is to be a WWE superstar right now.
I mean, I assume we're expecting him against Ciampa at TakeOver WrestleMania weekend.
Most
Tom,
likely.
do you know the NXT spoilers?
No, please do not spoil it. I avoided them for a perfect reason.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I know what happens, so.
Yeah, I could have watched it, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to enjoy my NXT. Yeah, I do like how Ciampa didn't disrupt his Andrea match. I do love how he didn't cost him the match, but he did do an attack after.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Johnny, he's been fantastic.
Yeah. Now,
so unless anyone's got any comments to make about any of those, then I guess we take a vote. I'm quite happy with Braun Strowman after hearing your two. I think Gargano is a very good option, but that 5-star match had 2 people in it, and I think it'd be harsh to pick one over the other.
I disagree with Braun Strowman. Simply for the fact that the double bass was fantastic, but everything else he does is just boring.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. He does the same stuff.
Heel Kingdom.
He does the same stuff. He does the same stuff every week. All right.
Well, he doesn't do the same stuff every week.
He did.
Well, I'm going to lift this thing this week. I'm going to push this thing over someone. It doesn't become impressive when
Pushing and lifting are two different things.
No, but it doesn't become
pulling,
impressive.
he pulled down a metal structure.
And he pushed and he pulled and he blew his house down.
Yeah, but once he does that, like almost every week, the novelty of it goes.
Are you sticking with Travis
So
Banks,
who are you going
or are
with?
you going with Johnny Gargano?
I'm sticking with Banks.
Well, it's tough because do we want a poll or do I think Braun Strowman is amazing? I agree with Super Chasney. Braun is amazing. My vote goes to Braun.
Braun Strowman is the superstar of the last 30 odd days. What a fantastic title that is. Superstar of the last 30 odd days.
Honestly, if it weren't for Braun, I probably wouldn't watch. I probably would be quite bored watching Raw.
Well, I mean, Raw over the past few weeks has been good. Ever since 25, it's been really solid.
I didn't even need to mention the mixed match challenge stuff as well.
That's brilliant. Him in the mixed match challenge is so funny.
I know he did something with t-shirts, which upset me.
He teased getting together with Alexa Bliss, and people just ate it up. It was great.
And there we go. So my award this month is who is the most deserving person yet to be inducted into the Hall of Fame? And just as a side note, we've sort of said no current wrestlers or people that we expect could come back, i.e. The Undertaker, who clearly would win this category had it not have been for that addendum.
Unless Santino was involved. Santino would go over.
He could go in a few times. Santina. Is that your pick then, Alex?
The Cobra. Oh, my pick is Christian! Voice crack intentional. Christian. Christian is fantastic. He's had a fantastic run, although it did end quite abruptly in WWE, as it ended in a fatal four-way before WrestleMania 30. But Edge and Christian wasn't just Edge. Christian was a big part of that tag team. In actual fact, I'm going to say it's the better half of that tag team. That may be
controversial opinion there.
Yeah, controversial opinion. But I think Edge's spear is complete trash. And I think Christian is so much better. I think Christian heel run in 2011 was brilliant. He didn't have live sex in the ring, so that gets double points. But also Christian, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because he's had great runs with the IC Championship, the Tag Team Championship. The list goes on, and he can be a great heel, can be a great babyface. He's been in so many historic matches, such as like the TLC matches. His feud with Randy Orton in 2011 was great because it showed his heel side. And he's just fantastic, and he's still really entertaining today. I think him going in there would not only be a great laugh, I think it's well deserved. I think he's had a well-oiled career. I think Christian, if Edge is in there now, I think Christian should also go in there relatively soon because, no offense, but Christian was a big part of Edge's career, as Edge was a big part of Christian. So.
If you do get a chance, Alex, check out his TNA work.
I have seen a little bit of his TNA work, and I do like it.
It's worth it. My choice is Davey Boy Smith, also known as the British Bulldog. By far one of the biggest names in British wrestling ever. When he won the Intercontinental Championship or whatever it was at WrestleMania, or he won a big championship.
It wasn't WrestleMania because it was in the UK.
Oh yeah, God damn it!
I believe it was SummerSlam.
Yeah, when he won it, and literally the entire arena exploded. He is one name I don't get why he's not in there, because he's not done anything controversial. He had a historic career. Unlike Dynamite Kid, who I can understand why he's not in, because wasn't he like a murderer or something?
I think Davey Boy Smith had a big problem with drugs before he died.
Yeah. Still, damn it.
Not an excuse,
no.
But
I definitely think he deserves to be in because he was one of the big part of the Hart dynasty as well, weren't he?
He was.
He was big part of the pre-Attitude Era stuff. He had great tag team runs, Intercontinental. Pretty much the reason why the European Championship came around as well.
Yeah, I can't really comment on this because I've only seen the Bret Hart match.
That one was fantastic.
Yeah, it was very good. It was really good. It was really good.
And to note about that is he forgot the entire match. Bret Hart actually called that entire match to him, which is an interesting wrestling note that he didn't know any of the spots, which proves how good Bret Hart was.
Why didn't he know any of the spots?
Because he'd been partying the night, like 3 days straight before.
I think you're talking him out of that Hall of Fame spot.
I probably am, but I still think he deserves to be in there for some of the incredible matches in his career. And just basically making British people look amazing to a wider audience.
Well, I'm going for 2 out of 2 because I won the first one, and I'm going for 2 out of 2 here. With the most deserving person yet to be inducted into the Hall of Fame being China. China was the 9th wonder of the world. She was part of DX. You know, the vast majority of DX have already been included. I don't really think I need to say much because everyone knows who China is. Even if you've not been a fan for very long, you know, she's now getting mentioned back on WWE TV. She was one of the pioneers of women's wrestling. She won a men's championship, which is unheard of.
Yeah, that's definitely
other than the hardcore. She had a great couple of matches with Chris Jericho.
Oh, they were great.
And just really, really good. The stuff that she did outside of the ring, you know, now that we've got the vast majority of the women in WWE having naked pictures of themselves on the internet, surely now makes it slightly better for China to have her chances increased to get into the Hall of Fame. Again, another one that's not around anymore. Same as yours, Tom.
Yeah, I think Christian's the only one alive in this vote.
He is.
Which is sad, because China was taken way too early.
I mean, this... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was thinking about your answer, Alex. Tom, do you think that Christian should go into the Hall of Fame before the likes of the Hardy Boys?
He would only get in as a singles competitor. Whereas I think they'll put the Hardy Boys in as a joint, like the Dudley Boys.
Well, the Dudleys and the Hardys and Edge and Christian were the same era. They could quite possibly go in all together because they were that good. But Christian was always the least impressive, along with Devon. It was always sort of Edge, Jeff, and Bubba Ray were the big guys, you know, the ones that were good, that everyone liked.
And then Matt was slightly below, and then Devon and Christian were.
You're turning heel now, Super.
But the thing is, the only Christian work I ever enjoyed was his TNA work.
I think you're deluded, Alex.
Christian wasn't better than Jeff Hardy, but he was better than the Dudley Boys.
He wasn't, you know, Bubba Ray Dudley was, you know...
Not a fan of either of them, to be honest, as singles competitors.
Well, we're not talking about, you know, them as a singles competitor. You know, the argument that you put forward was, you know, he was part of Edge and Christian.
Yeah, but as well, he was good in his own. That was my counter argument. You know, he's a great fuse with Randy Orton, and he's a good heel babyface. He didn't need Edge, but Edge was a big part of his career. Edge is already in there, so why isn't Christian? Was my answer. And your counter argument is, should Christian go in before the likes of the Hardy Boys? Well, Edge is already in there, so why can't...
Edge got in because he got a neck injury.
Edge was a multi-time WWE champion. Christian got it because Edge got injured and then moaned a lot. And
all I'm saying is
that is a sad fact. That's the only reason he held the championship.
It wasn't even the WWE title; it was the World Championship.
What I'm saying is, Christian was well deserved of a World Championship shot. Anyway,
he was. He was very underutilized in his WWE career, but most of his career wasn't built in WWE. It was built in TNA.
Yes. No.
2006 till 2010 was in TNA.
Most of his singles career
was in TNA. That's where he made. That's where he made his name. Was TNA as a singles competitor.
I'm going to have to disagree. I've seen it now.
Same with people like Kurt Angle, who've had more of a TNA career than a WWE career.
Well, can I put a question out there then to you two. We don't sound like we agree on this one. Can we put this one to a poll?
Yeah, I think we should.
Because I'd be really interested to see if anyone else picks Christian.
But Alex, 7-year WWE career for Kurt Angle, 10-year TNA.
Yeah, but TNA is relevant.
No, it's not.
I don't want to hear you go into your Digitalk army and asking them for votes for Christian. You can't run off to your Digitalk people again.
Yeah, but we've got Kane, so if they try to do that, we could just counterbat them with Kane's 7 accounts.
True. But, so there you go. That one's going to a poll.
Yeah.
You can probably see it on the screen now.
Yep. It'll be up there. It automatically comes up from the whole video. It'll be on the whole video in a little eye. So vote any time during the video. So
you've probably already voted.
You probably
that
but you could probably change it.
Yeah.
That one is quite close. I think.
Quite close between China and the British.
Actually, we should probably have this in our next podcast. The WWE stars that have had more TNA career. That'd probably be a great debate to talk about.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
If you got any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. And we now move on to Alex's topic for his award, which we've already heard about anyway. But Alex,
the breakout star of 2018. I'll let Super Chesney go first. This one, Tonga.
Me?
Yeah,
I'll let you.
I'm going for John Barrowman.
Yeah, best star of the year.
I'm going for what I expect to be a very unpopular decision, but I'm going for someone who's already made more of an impact in the world by their appearance in WWE, has already set the world alight with the possibilities of what they're going to do, has more brand power and name power than nearly everyone in the WWE.
Mrs. Pointy.
And could point, yeah, I was like, and could point at WrestleMania side very convincingly.
I'm not sure she can.
No, it was pretty bad.
I think has the most potential to have an absolutely terrific 2018, 2019. Who knows? Ronda Rousey is my pick for a breakout star. Okay, she's not been in a match, but I don't think it matters. I think she has lit the wrestling world on fire, and people can't wait to see her in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think if you said this a couple months forward, I'd probably also say Rousey won them. But for me, Rousey's done nothing. In fact, she's deflated me.
She pointed.
Yes,
Mrs. Pointy.
But that deflated me. I don't care for her debut now. I couldn't give a shit.
But you like Christian.
What's wrong with Christian?
And Jinder Mahal. I mean, guys, if this isn't swaying your voting, I don't really know what it is. I mean, he's voted for Jinder Mahal, John Barrowman. I mean, guys.
What's wrong with Jinder Mahal? Minus the fact you made me slightly racist. Alright.
His shit moveset, his shit
terrible.
promos.
Hey, well, look.
He was only
No
pushed
one likes
because he was
him.
Indian.
We all agree, right, that Jinder Mahal is better than Shinsuke Nakamura inside the ring. Yeah?
No. Never.
So, guys, if you enjoyed Alex being on this podcast, that's a shame because this is his last appearance on the podcast.
It was fantastic.
Anyway, can we get to
Ronda Rousey is my pick.
Yeah. Now we can get to mine and get back on track. It has got to be.
Are you ready to walk with Tom?
We're ready to walk with Elias. It's got to be Elias. I mean, he has had great promos over the last few weeks. I know it may have been not this month. It was this year. Roman Reigns versus Elias on Raw. I think that was this year. It was a fantastic match. It made Elias look absolutely fantastic. He's now in the chamber. I know he's not going to win, but it's going to put him on the map and make the people go, oh, he is somebody. He's in there with the greats like The Miz and Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. It's going to get people's heads turning towards Elias. And
yeah,
And the walk with Elias, changing WWE to mean walk with Elias, is just a catchy phrase. So,
I'll give you that. I think it's a catchy phrase.
I do. Yeah, I think Elias is the breakout star of 2018. I think he's going to hopefully go on to win the Intercontinental Championship this year and start going forward.
I can't. I think the sky's the limit for Elias. He's already starting to feud with John Cena. I don't think it will come up much because obviously Cena's going to go and face the Undertaker.
I think that's the one thing that made me not very interested in Elias was you look at Raw 25, had a really weird moment with John Cena, hit him over the back with a guitar. Had another couple of matches with John Cena.
He's also entering last into the chamber, though.
Well, that just means he doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's going to be one of them where no one gets eliminated till all the people are in.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And Ronda Rousey makes her sign her contract at Elimination Chamber this Sunday.
And there's going to be a sign of as well.
Sign of who, Ray?
No, a sign, like a WrestleMania sign, so she can point.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely...
That's all she's going to do. She's going to walk down to the ring, sign the contract, point at the sign.
And leave. I honestly bet you that's what she does.
And shake hands.
Yeah. At least we get to hear our theme song again, though.
I hope they don't change it, because that song is kick-ass. Anyway, Alex, who is your choice?
Mine might make me a little bit deflated now, but mine's Apollo Crews. Now, for me...
Sure, it's not Jinder Mahal.
I could have gone for Millie McKenzie, but none of you guys would have heard of Millie McKenzie.
I watched a match with her like 2 hours ago.
No one had heard of John Barham until you mentioned it.
Shut up. But Apollo, no, this year in the 2 months that we've had, he's finally getting booked the way he should have. No, he's not winning matches, let's say that, but he has been put in the Elimination Chamber qualification areas. And this is where he deserves to be, because at the start of his run, he got put on the main roster way too early, right? And now he's finally getting the crowd support back. He's being entertaining, Titus Worldwide is the best tag team in WWE. Fight me. And I would
fight you, even if you are, as Tom says, a transformer.
Half a transformer.
But yeah, I really like Titus Worldwide. I think Apollo Crews is better than Ronda Rousey's debut. I think Apollo Crews could kick the shit out of Elias. But yeah, I think he's had a really good year. I think he's finally hit that echelon of where he should be. Not winning matches, being that underdog guy that impresses people with his match. If that's just what I think Crews is doing. I think Titus Worldwide is really over. The only other thing that could rival the amount they're over is Rusev Day. As well, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Apollo basically for the fact that I think Apollo's fantastic. But if I had to say something, any other person apart from Millie McKenzie that I would have here is probably Rusev.
Well, it's a better shout than
not a breakout star anymore. You can't really
Apollo Crews.
Can't really class Rusev as a breakout star since he's had championships.
What about Mojo Rawley?
No.
Fantastic. Who doesn't like Mojo?
Everyone but you.
Ashton Bachitti loves Mojo.
Well, we've been blessed to have Alex Kingdom with us today.
The choice is
the man with the most random opinions.
It's quite funny, to be fair. Top quality content.
We now have to vote.
We have Mrs. Pointy, Guitar Man, and Flippy Dude.
Alright, I'm gonna go straight up. I'm gonna say Elias. I think Elias has had a fantastic 2 months. He has done no wrong. I think Ronda Rousey doesn't even deserve to be anywhere near this list yet. She's done nothing.
She pointed. She got on BBC News for her appearance at Royal Rumble. It's making mass.
Well, that's not breakout. In terms of WWE, that's not breakout. Oh,
it is.
Because she's making her debut, so it's breakout.
Was it? It wasn't Eve Torres. It was the other one with the red hair. I'm sure it's Eve. Eva Marie. You know, she was one of the most over people in the business when she walked out, and then
she got
had all the wardrobe malfunctions and stuff.
Suspended for drugs.
Yes, she did, but she didn't wrestle. But she would have won this award.
Okay, that was entertaining. To be fair,
Tom.
No one breakout star of the year just because her boobs was for a
they never got flashed.
Alex has voted with Elias.
I'll go with Elias.
Who are you going with, Super Chasney?
I was waiting for you to go, Tom.
I think I'm just going to have to stick with my choice of Elias. As much as I like Mrs. Pointy.
Rather gutting. Well, I'm going to stick with Mrs. Pointy because I feel that I'm right. I nearly won 3 out of 3, guys.
You always feel like you're right.
Even though it would be fun to have a poll that says Mrs. Pointy, Flippy Man, and Guitar Dude. That would have been a great poll.
Jinder Mahal is going to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania.
But anyway, guys, remember you can all do your own votes for who you think should win each award.
We'd love to see some suggestions for awards next time. If you would like to come on and co-host the podcast, we can always have more than 3 of us. But at the same time, we are looking for someone new because Alex likes Jinder Mahal, John Barrowman, and Apollo Crews.
He's also half a Transformer.
No.
We only like full Transformers here.
Tom.
And abandon us for Digital.
Tom. Whoa, Tom has defended Titus worldwide on numerous occasions.
Yes, but I don't think he's a breaking star.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, clearly not, because Elias won.
Star.
But the only thing Ross Mackey's breaking out of is his fucking no friend zone.
I think he's died.
Just gonna leave that joke in the air like the fart that it is.
But yeah, thank you for this podcast. This has been fun. We do hope you've enjoyed it. We've got past more than 1 episode, which is absolutely amazing.
We've already lost a co-host. We've already gained one. We've already lost another one.
The question is, will I be back next week?
We'll have to see. Please tune in next week to see if Alex will actually be here. Thank you all for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed it. As always, please give this video a like. Please go check out both Alex and Super Chowsney. Their links are in the description below. Subscribe to see more content, and we'll catch you later.
Piss off.
Oops.